Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Ubisoft E3 2016 press conference pre-show. I'm Kyle Hilliard. Joe Juba is here.
Hi. And now they were just having on their own pre-show. They were talking about whether or not you say it Ubisoft or Ubisoft.
Yeah, the correct answer is Ubisoft because it's ubiquitous software.
Yeah, I'm kind of weird about it because I usually say Ubisoft, but if I shorten it, I say Ubi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait. How do you shorten it?
Like instead of just saying like, oh, I wonder what Ubisoft's lineup is going to be, I'd be like, oh, I wonder what Ubi's lineup is going to be.
Oh, okay. Ubi.
Yeah.
All right.
Whatever.
Weirdo.
Anyway, so that's the press conference we have coming up in front of us
I'm
here very shortly.
Excited. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for Ubisoft. They always have interesting stuff. I'm very excited. I'm hopeful that Trey Parker and Matt Stone show up again. That's always been like one of my favorite things about Ubisoft press conferences.
It wasn't a press conference. It was the Game Awards that they did to like behold the future of award shows.
Yeah, but they were at last year's E3 as well.
Okay.
And I remember because they were making fun of Microsoft, which was great. They were just like, your Xbox will be able to plug into your refrigerator. And it's so good. It always is like, I hope they're there because they're always the funniest part. But I mean, that kind of leads us into our conversation about South Park, which I thought was a huge surprise last year. I did not think we would ever see a South Park RPG again, you know?
Yeah, I mean, but that first one was so successful and seemed to bring in like big fans of the show. And then also like, because if you strip away the sort of like South Park veneer of that, it's a pretty traditional like RPG, right?
Yeah, like almost it has more in common with like Paper Mario than
Right.
you would expect, you know?
Yeah.
So I was really surprised when they announced it last year. I would like to see more. I hope for like a release date this year, but knowing Parker and Stone, like I don't think they even have an inkling of an idea what the release date might be. So we'll see.
What would you say the odds are on us actually seeing some of that?
Like seeing some gameplay,
Yeah.
pretty high. I think there's a good chance we'll see some.
Like, because that's one of, so Ubisoft has a pretty broad stable of franchises that they could sort of trot out. But in terms of the ones that are like basically, that our odds of seeing them here are like practically guaranteed, I'd say like South Park, like that's going to have some time here on stage.
Yeah, like Trey Parker, Matt Stone may or may not be there, but I think the game will be there. And speaking of other things that we're fairly sure are going to be here, Watch Dogs 2, I think.
Yeah, what seemed to be like the whole rollout for that has been sort of weird because like it didn't feel like there was ever a real big like formal surprise Watch Dogs 2. It was always sort of like I feel like it was on like earnings calls and stuff that there was like, oh yeah, we're working on a new Watch Dogs game.
Yeah, don't worry.
And from the beginning, like when they launched it, they were sort of straightforward about their desire to like, yeah, we want to make this a series.
Yeah, and it was one of those things that people were really excited about. The game came out, and it was kind of like just lukewarm. I don't think anyone was like, oh man, I can't wait for Watch Dogs 2. But I think everyone was kind of like, oh, I bet there will be a Watch Dogs 2.
Yeah.
And then I think that's one of the reasons that what they've shown so far has been so separate from the first game. Like you have a new protagonist, new city. Like they're really trying to keep probably the core of Watch Dogs, but taking it in a whole different direction. Like I don't think they feel the need to continue the story of Watch Dogs 1 so much as they want to keep that brand going. You know?
Yeah. And if you look at their history too, I mean, like Ubisoft does like what they did with the Assassin's Creed franchise, where they had a successful first installment that a lot of people really liked, but it was really with the second installment that they zeroed in on like, okay, this is what this formula is. This is what people liked about the first one. This is how we can sort of deliver this open world experience that people wanted.
Yeah, I mean, for that reason, like I'm much more optimistic about Watch Dogs 2. Like I probably played the first one for like 6 hours or so and just kind of dropped off. But like I'm excited to see what's up with the sequel. You know, like they have a better handle on their core mechanics. So another game that we're pretty very likely to see, I think, is For Honor.
Yeah, that was the one that. Like that was sort of their big deal last year, right? Like that was their official sort of big coming out party for
big new thing.
Yeah. And that's the one that's the what? It's like a multiplayer battle arena, basically.
Yeah, like maybe an inkling of Dynasty Warriors. Even I kind of got that vibe from it. It's like you, a powerful soldier in the middle of a big battlefield of like hundreds of other soldiers. I don't know. There's not a lot that I've seen from that game that has gotten me super excited. So for that reason, I want to see more.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
maybe this will be a good opportunity to get me excited.
What are you moving around over there?
That's my E3 bingo card that I've been keeping track of. I got a handful of pennies that I've been marking things off on. So.
Nice. Is there anything on there that's Ubisoft related?
I have one here. This is a bold proclamation here, Joe. One of
Okay.
them is Kickstarter announced funded.
Okay. Yeah.
Beyond Good and Evil 2 Kickstarter announced at Ubisoft's press conference. What do you think?
That would be such a dirty trick.
It would be
to play.
pretty rough.
Because okay, so like last year at Sony's press conference when they came out with Shenmue, that
Yeah.
was like, hey, no one ever thought this game would happen. But it's happening if you can help us out. But I
Yeah.
mean, like, we're doing it. It's another thing to be like, this game that we announced like 7 or 8 years ago,
Yeah.
you can finally have it. But this time you have to pay for it. We're not going to do that.
Even though we
You know?
announced it.
Even though we told you get it, you don't get it unless you pay.
I mean, what do you think, even beyond sort of my Kickstarter idea, what do you think are the percentage that we'll see Beyond Good and Evil 2 today?
Man, I would put that solidly in the long shot category.
Yeah? See, I'm thinking like 30%. Not a zero, but pretty low in terms of it being on stage in any way, shape, or form.
Boy, it's tricky. I feel like that's one of those things that fans just sort of like work themselves up into a sort of anticipatory like fervor all about, and then get disappointed every year when it's not there. And the fact that like I feel like that's the kind of thing that they would have teased, or like we might have gotten more of an inkling of beforehand, because like
There have been plenty of opportunities for them to assure us continually that that game is in progress.
Right.
And that reassurance has not appeared, you know?
Yeah, and it's not like they get to announce it again, you know? So,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's like any resurfacing of it.
I don't know. I mean, they sort of re-announced Last Guardian, and they sort of re-announced Prey. Actually, Prey is a better example, because Prey 2 was straight up canceled, and then last night they announced Prey.
Yeah, yeah.
But they haven't canceled Beyond Good and Evil 2. They just haven't acknowledged it, you know?
Well, but they do, in the sense that like whenever it's asked about it, they're like, "Oh yeah, we're still working on it."
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
true.
I feel like they almost need to have their own like special coming out party for that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong, but I guess protect your heart, Kyle, is what I'm saying. Protect your heart and don't set your hopes too high.
So, moving back to things that we're pretty sure are going to be there, Ghost Recon Wildlands was announced last year.
Yeah, that was another big surprise from last
Which
year.
I'm curious about that game. I've brought it up a couple times in the office, and I've even been sort of shot down as like, no, you're crazy. But I wonder how much Metal Gear Solid 5 could possibly influence the development of that game. Because to me, they seem like they could have some overlap of like an open world stealth military game. Like Ghost Recon's always been a pretty stealthy, pretty mechanical, game, and I feel like maybe they're not that different. Of course, we know so little about Ghost Recon Wildlands at this point that maybe I'm just jumping to conclusions, Wildlands conclusions.
Yeah. Well, and it's also weird. Just to take a little bit of a step back from Ubisoft for a second, it's just like it's always weird to presume that a game that's out has had some sort of massive impact on development of something either, because like Ghost Recon Wildlands was revealed last year before MGS5 was out, and even though we knew some of what it was, and like these games have have such long development periods that like I wonder. I mean, I'm sure that you can take some inspiration and some ideas, but like I think it would be really hard to have to adapt to this like changing marketplace with what's out there. You almost just have to like stick with your original idea and maybe tweak it a little bit along the way, but like you're gonna always end up just sort of chasing something that's out of your reach if you just try to keep up with like whatever whatever is just released that people are enthusiastic about.
Sure,
you know?
that's true.
But anyway,
another one, The Division Underground. They actually showed that during the Underground expansion DLC for The Division. They showed it during Microsoft's press conference. And maybe Ubisoft, maybe we'll see the same exact trailer, or maybe they'll show something more, or maybe they'll reveal something else for The Division.
I hate when they do that. I hate, just at least have different trailers ready.
Yeah, we've seen the Battlefield 1 trailer twice now.
Yeah,
And it's like, I mean, you could there's things you could do. I mean, just edit it differently or something. I don't know.
And maybe I wonder if that's a relic of like a pre-internet age for E3 or something like that, where it's like, hey, maybe you didn't get invited to that press conference.
Yeah,
You
maybe.
can see it, but like now, anyone who is like plugged in enough to the industry to really care about these conferences, like they saw that already. We don't need to see it again.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. Like, I don't think there are, fans that are like, oh, I only watch the Microsoft press conference, or I only watch, the EA press conference. I just don't. I think that if you're into games, even if you're focused on one specific company or publisher or something like that, you still want to see the broad picture. You're not going to ignore everything else for no reason.
Exactly. One of the things as we get into sort of like I wonder territory about this, because like we've pretty much hit all of the ones that we think are like guaranteed stage time up there.
Yes.
There was one that came out during. They've been talking about it for a while, and I believe the last time they talked about it was at their earnings call back in March.
Okay.
And that they've said that they have a new multiplayer-focused IP to reveal.
Okay. And that's just all we know is multiplayer.
Well, yeah, and they said at the time that like we're going to reveal that at E3, maybe even before E3. And I don't think we know what that is yet.
Okay.
So there could be something, some sort of online new thing that could be exciting.
Because I mean, like The Division is very multiplayer focused, and as is For Honor, but
I mean, this
those are
specifically
announced.
like new, yeah. So
okay,
we'll see what that could be. I wonder.
Interesting.
And they say it's a new IP also, so that means that it's not like a, hey, this is like a multiplayer focused Splinter Cell or something like that. Like this is apparently it's new.
So let's see. We've got quite a list here of things that we're hoping to see, or maybe we might see. I don't know what we want to tackle next.
One of them that I can toss out there. I don't know. This is kind of a long shot also, but I was seeing some rumors floating around this morning that there might be a Grow Home sequel, which was one that I can't remember if that was actually announced at E3 last year. Or how exactly that one worked.
The gap between announcement and release was pretty short. I know at least that much, yeah.
Yeah. So, and that could also be a candidate for like, if one thing we haven't seen that we usually see during E3 at some point is the like, and you can play it right now kind of thing. So like maybe there's a Grow Home sequel that might be ready to rock. Who knows?
Yeah, I wouldn't be super eager about playing that right now, personally.
Yeah. Well,
Grow Home didn't do a ton for me.
Yeah,
so.
I didn't love it either. I did the review for it, and like, but it's one of those where it's like
it's cute. It's got a cool art style.
Yeah, it's got a neat art style. It's charming, and like I love the fact that game is out there because it's a nice like low impact game, kind of experimental. It's pretty fun, but pretty cute. But it's missing a lot of the things that actually make it like entertaining.
Yeah.
But anyhow,
you know what? One that we skipped that I think we should spend just an enormous amount of time on that will probably be on stage is Just Dance. There will probably be a Just Dance on stage.
You think so?
I feel pretty good about that bet.
I wonder about that because like I bet that they will say like, hey, we have a Just Dance coming later this year as usual or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like I wonder, it's a hugely important franchise for Ubisoft.
Yeah,
like,
financially, yeah.
Yeah, like they make a lot of money from that game, but I think they probably recognize that the people who are here to participate in watching these press conferences, they're not going to cover Just Dance.
Well, and not only that, like also the people who played Just Dance and who are super enthusiastic about it are probably not watching this press conference. Like this is not the way for them to like interact with their audience.
Yeah,
for that particular game, and that's totally fine. But like, don't have people up there. Don't waste my time with Just Dance.
We don't need a show.
Yeah. One thing, sort of getting into long shot territory here, also is so we know that there's no Assassin's Creed coming out this year. Like they're skipping the year.
Well, you know what, Joe?
Maybe we'll see a trailer for it. I guess we'll find out very shortly.
Oh, we got. It's counting up. I thought we were counting down. Well, anyway, Ubisoft's press conference is beginning right now, so we are gonna shut our mouths and see what they got to show. I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.
I hope they don't show any dancing. Let's open with some dancing.
Don't stop me now.
I was so wrong.
Perfect. I was so
Cause
wrong.
I'm having a good time, having a good time. A shooting star leaping through the sky like a tiger, defying the laws of gravity. I'm a racing car passing by like Lady Godiva. I'm gonna go, go, go. There's no stopping me. I'm burning through the sky, 200 degrees. That's why they call me Mr. Fahrenheit. I'm traveling at the speed of light. I wanna make a supersonic man out of you. Don't stop me now. I'm having such a good time. I'm having a ball. Don't stop me now. If you wanna have a good time, just give me a call. Don't stop me now. I'm having a good time. Don't stop me yes, I'm having a good time. I don't wanna stop at all. I'm a rocket ship on my way to Mars on a collision course. I am a satellite. I'm out of control. I'm a sex machine ready to reload. Like an atom bomb about to explode. I'm burning through the sky. 200 degrees. That's why they call me Mr. Fahrenheit.
Oh, this is still going, Joe.
Speed of
If you're aware.
light.
I've just been scowling for the last several minutes.
Good song, at least.
Don't stop me, don't stop me, don't stop me. Hey, hey, hey! Don't stop me, don't stop me.
I guess they are getting it out of the way. We could say that at least, right?
Don't stop me, don't stop me.
I wish I could see the faces of the game journalists in the audience right now.
Hey, everybody, thank you. Wow. Oh my God, you guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. You guys were confusing and awesome. And my mom has those boots, by the way. She wants them back. Ladies and gentlemen, you know when you see a dancing crab and a baby bird with a paper collar that you could only be at the Ubisoft E3 press conference. Welcome. Welcome. Dancers, can you guys bring it in behind me for a second? Just gather around. Get behind me here. It's a special year. And I want to take a moment to do something that's going to feel a little incongruous and potentially even uncomfortable for some of you. There's no smooth or easy way to do this, but we all felt really strongly when we were rehearsing today that we needed to say this. So before we start, everyone here at Ubisoft want to offer our deepest sympathies to the people affected by this weekend's tragedy in Orlando. Our hearts, the hearts of everyone in Paris, in France, in the United States, and around the world are with you. And now, thanks, guys. And now, with a human giraffe on my right and a candy cane on my left, I'm going to make a very hard right turn and get into the fun stuff. Thanks for coming on, guys. Dance away. Dance away. The madness that you just saw was courtesy of the Movement Wizards at Just Dance 2017. Just Dance has always been at the forefront of innovation, bringing its experience to new devices and also introducing the world to the first dance-on-demand streaming service with Just Dance Unlimited. And today, Ubisoft is pleased to announce that Just Dance 2017 will be coming to all video game platforms and PC in October and to the Nintendo NX next year. Yes.
First NX announcement, maybe?
Your life is not complete
Zelda.
until you have a lion singing at you out of your television screen. Hello and welcome to everybody lucky enough to be sitting here in this theater and even luckier enough to be watching at home around the globe because you have snacks and you probably didn't shower today. I am Aisha Tyler. Some of you probably didn't shower either. There's no judgment here. I am Aisha Tyler, and I'm standing in the historic Orpheum Theater in vaguely beautiful, yet faintly urine-scented downtown Los Angeles.
That's true.
It's
Yes.
true, right? It's underneath everything. And the badges are on everyone's necks, and the smiles on everyone's faces can only mean one thing. It is E3 conference time. Now, 2016 is a huge year for everyone here at Ubisoft. It's my 5th time hosting this conference. Yes. And you all know what the traditional gift is for a 5th anniversary, yeah? That's right, my friends, wood. Or girl wood, if you choose. Let it wash over you. Now, they always ask me, like, why do I continue to do this conference in the face of the overwhelming internet love that I receive? And it's not the money, I'll tell you that. Ubisoft is French.
What's the punchline?
I didn't get
They're
it.
paying me in red wine and sarcasm, you guys. No, I come back every year because I love games. I play these games, I adore them, and I love being a part of the excitement that comes with revealing new games to the world. Every day, every year when I do this, I'm like a kid in a candy store. A really large, slightly masculine kid in a candy store. And speaking of excitement, it's Ubisoft's 30th birthday. Yeah, give it up for Ubi. Or Ubi. Ubi may be 30, but like everyone else here in Hollywood, it hasn't aged a bit. It gets drunk on weekdays and dresses inappropriately, but whatever makes it feel young. Now, over these 3 decades, Ubisoft has been flexing its creative muscles, giving its teams the freedom to push boundaries and create games that are memorable, fun, and sometimes a little crazy. So, enough talk. We're going to hit fast forward right now and get straight to the games. All right? Now, you may remember our next title from the end of last year's show, when it blew your fucking mind. And if you're at home playing a drinking game, yes, an F-bomb in the first 5 minutes of this show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Recon Wildlands.
There was a bingo square about F-bombs also. I don't know if you have
Oh,
that.
was there? Oh, mark that one.
I offer the people a choice: to follow me or oppose me. If you follow me, I feed your families, give you shelter, medicine, and jobs, shield you from the tyrants, allow La Santa Muerte to protect you from death. I give you power. I make you rich. But most of all, I let you rule like kings. But for those that oppose me, I have only one thing to offer. A promise. To take everything you love and destroy it in front of your eyes.
It's all yours.
Ghost, hit the money, hit the drugs, then hit the king.
In Bolivia, the coca leaf is core to the culture. It's found in every gas station, every hospital, and every town square. And they use it for a variety of things, like treating nausea and altitude sickness, to a refreshing energy drink. But it can also be used to make cocaine. So we asked, what if? What if a Mexican drug cartel moved in, took over the entire country, seized all of those coca resources to become the #1 producer of cocaine on the planet, effectively turning Bolivia into a narco state? This is the world of Ghost Recon Wildlands. And you? Well, you're the ghosts. The elite spec ops drop deep behind enemy lines to create chaos and disrupt the alliance between a corrupt local government and the Santa Blanca cartel, ultimately going after their leader, the vicious El Sueño. Hi, everybody. My name is Dominic Butler. I'm the lead game designer for Ghost Recon Wildlands. Now, Ghost Recon Wildlands is the very first military shooter set in a massive, dangerous open world that you can play entirely in solo or in up to 4-player co-op, with beautiful environments set across a variety of different ecosystems that will challenge and influence your gameplay at every step of the way. All of this takes place in the largest action-adventure open world Ubisoft has ever done. Now, in the gameplay we're about to show you, the ghosts already have a target. His name is El Pozolero. He's known as the Stew Maker because he makes the bodies disappear. Now, the ghosts know that their target is in a large Santa Blanca camp somewhere in the San Mateo province, but they don't know where yet exactly. And because Ghost Recon Wildlands gives you the total freedom of choice to do what you want, when you want, we put the power back in the players' hands to achieve their objectives their way. In this case, the ghosts know that their target has some vital intel. They want to take him alive, so they've opted for a tactical extraction. Let's go get that intel.
Here we go. The intel we need is supposed to be in this Sicario's house. Looks like it's upstairs.
Copy that.
Need any help?
Nah, I got this.
Okay, I'll take a look around.
Right, let's try to keep it stealthy. There's one right there. Boom, got you.
These are supposed to be characters talking, right? Like not
I'm
people
in.
playing.
I think they're the people
Oh shit, I've been spotted.
You good?
At least that was my
Yeah,
assumption.
got it.
Okay,
Just
okay.
moving upstairs. All right, let's see what we got. Okay, I got the intel on El Pozolero. He's in a camp up in San Mateo.
Cool, how far is it?
We could use a ride. You got a car out there?
No, something better. You ready to fly?
Let's go.
You got it.
So inconspicuous. You mentioned Metal Gear Solid 5 before, Kyle?
According to the intel, the camp should be near this cliff. El Pozolero's a high-value target. He's gonna be well protected.
There's a camp. Oh, damn, this one's gonna be tough.
Yeah, we could definitely use some backup on this one.
Hey, you guys need a hand?
Right on time. We're going after El Pozolero. We're at the east of the San Mateo base.
Got it. We are on our way.
We're approaching the camp from the west. We'll meet you there.
Copy that.
I hear this El Pozolero guy is supposed to be a hard target.
How bad does it look?
See for yourself.
Oh, damn. Looks like a whole lot of trouble. Tag the lookout. Can you get him?
Roger that. One less to worry about.
Okay, we're splitting up.
Weaver, can you get to a good sniper position on the south side of the camp? No problem.
Alrighty, I'm moving in from the other side.
Copy that. We're moving in from the
Train station at the east end of camp.
Heads up, enemy spotted.
I got eyes on a sniper.
Wait for my signal.
Got it.
Now.
Tango down. Let's move. Okay, wait a minute.
I hear something inside. 2 guys. I got the one on the right. You ready?
Ready.
Go.
Good job.
Okay, I'm gonna deploy the drone and see what's up ahead. Looks like an old town that Santa Blanca's turned into a base. Oh man, there are guards all over the place.
That bad? Yep, be careful.
One down, so far so good.
Found my way in, guys.
All right, let's see what's in this big building. Okay, I got him. Red gloves, gas mask. He's got guards with him.
Got it. And another one down. I'm moving through.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm close to the building. I'm trying to find a way in. You saw anything else?
Oh, man, I think he was dissolving somebody.
Like in a can of acid or something.
Yeah, looked pretty nasty.
Come on, guys, let's move.
All right, all right. I think I found my spot. Nearly there.
Careful, there's more of them the closer you get.
Only one left. Okay, I'm in position.
I have 3 tangos in front of me. Weaver, you think you can help?
I got it.
Going in.
Don't let this guy get away.
I see him. We'll talk about nightmare fuel.
Call us if you need us.
Don't worry, man. I got this. Shit! You spotted me. Guys, I'm spotted. El Pozolero's running. Going after him. Where is he? Where is he? Get out of the way, man. Okay, he's in a white SUV heading for the east end of the camp. Following on a bike.
Got it. I'm moving intercept.
This camp's on full alert, guys. We need to get out of here fast.
Shit, hold, get in the car.
Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Shit, no, he's moving too fast. Went the other way.
Come on, man. Let's go, let's go.
Hurry up, the gate's closing.
I am right behind you. Weaver, are you okay?
I'm good.
Frag out. I'm pulling out. Found a bike, guys. I'm on my way.
Hey, watch your fire. We need him alive.
I can't get a good shot.
This guy's all over the place.
Stop moving.
Okay, guys, I'm clear. Out of the camp, on the road. Where are you guys? Let me know you're... Damn, the whole place is going up. All right, I'm heading for the chopper now.
Damn, he's trying to ram the car. I gotta hit his engine.
No, I'm trying to slow him down.
Help is on the way, guys. I'll run this train. Where's the chopper? Where is it? I found it. Okay, getting in. I'm in the chopper, coming your way. All right, I'm on my way, guys. Hang tight.
Oh, no, 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 no. He's not stopping.
Oh man, come on, come on.
I'm trying.
He's a tough one, this guy, huh?
No, no, no. We're not going to push him off.
Looks like he's losing control.
Can you push him to the side?
I don't know how it looks up there, but that's what I'm trying to do.
Damn it, he dodged it.
Hang on, guys. I'm nearly there.
Oh, damn
Okay, I got him.
Yes, he stopped.
I'll get him.
Be careful.
Ride's here.
How'd you get, buddy?
Hurry up, we got cartel reinforcements incoming.
Up you get, and in you go.
Adios. Let's get the hell out of here.
I got him in my line of fire.
Well, hold him off. I gotta fly this thing.
And
We are clear, gentlemen.
Nice work.
That was a tough mission. Oh, man, that was close.
Oh, that looks pretty cool.
Yeah. Even with the fake radio chatter.
Ugh, we'll talk about that later.
Head over to GhostRecon.com right now for all the latest news and gameplay videos. For those of you here at E3, please come by the booth. We've got 4-player co-op demos, and we would love for you to try it. We want to get your feedback. Ghost Recon Wildlands will be released on March 7th, 2017. Thank you. Have a great show.
Is it UB3 or UBE3?
Crime in the United States is escalating at an alarming pace. The statistics are staggering. Urban centers are oversaturated with violence. And the wave of criminal activity has overflowed to suburban and rural areas. Dissolution of moral structure, international conspiracies, a multi-billion-dollar drug trade. No one knows the source, and authorities are helpless in stopping this epidemic of crime. Civilization is being pushed to the brink. To stem the rising tide of violence and re-establish order, extreme steps must be taken. The question becomes, who will take them?
I'm Jason Schroeder from Ubisoft San Francisco. I had the team put together a trailer. We just took some stuff from Snowdrop and said, make a cool trailer, and that's what it puts out. So that's kind of the way that goes. But all that chaos, all that scary stuff is totally true. Thankfully, the Coon is up to the occasion. And who better to defend the town of South Park and really Colorado and really the world than superheroes or kids in superhero costumes. So, like the Coon, I need some help from some friends. Please welcome Trey Parker and Matt Stone.
Yay! You called it, Kyle.
Excited.
If they aren't funny, I'm blaming you.
That's fair. I'll take the blame for them not being funny for some reason.
That's fair. Yeah.
Sure.
A comfy couch. This
Yeah.
is sweet.
I had it brought
Finally,
in.
we can sit down.
I know, it was an exhausting walk all the way from there. So let's talk about the story. Everybody wants to know what's going on in the Fractured But Whole.
Don't know yet.
Yeah.
We're working on it. Well, it picks up where the Stick of Truth kind of left off. You're the new kid. If you played Stick of Truth, you would know that you're the new kid who moved to South Park. And so the game's really about who you are, and you kind of define who you are in South Park. But whereas the Stick of Truth was like a fantasy send-up, and you end up being the king in the end. And it's like the next day in South Park, and the kids have sort of switched up, and now they're playing superheroes.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, and so we actually have a backstory that the kids have been playing superhero, but they got into a big fight about something, so they're in the Civil War part of their
kind of Civil War.
And in fact, Marvel wanted to call their movie Captain America: The Fractured But Whole, but we had already taken that name, so they had to call their Civil War.
True. It's a true story. That's extremely true.
But also, we want to get into who you are as this new kid, and the fact that, in Stick of Truth, you really rose to being cool because you became king. But in this game, they've kind of switched games, and so you're back to being a douchebag again.
Right. So let's see how that douchebag was able to make it into Coon and Friends. Real gameplay.
Dude, what the fuck? Who let this ordinary citizen into the Coon lair? Listen, bro, we are all superheroes and you aren't, so you can't hang out with us. Please do us all a solid and fuck off. Hey! Do not touch that! That device can blow up the entire Milky Way galaxy. Jesus, fuck! Mom! The new kid is trying to play with the cube of ultimate destruction!
You be nice to all your friends, Eric. Be a good sharer.
Good sharer! It'll blow up the fucking galaxies! Stupid bitch! Look, dude, we already told you, you can't play. You aren't a superhero. You don't have a costume. You don't have any superpowers. Freedom Pals are adding people to their franchise. We should be adding people to ours. This dork, like, wearing a little crown? Does this look like a superhero to you? All right, have a seat, douchebag. Not there. That's Mysterion's seat. Not there either, stupid. All right, in order to play superheroes, you have to have a superhero persona. Then you can fill out your character sheet on Kunstagram. Do you have a Kunstagram page? Oh boy, you're not even on Kunstagram, huh? Well, I guess I can create one for you. Fucking unbelievable. Let's see. So the first thing we need to fill out on your character sheet is your class. You know, what kind of superhero are you? Speedster. Ah, yes, like the Flash or Quicksilver. I like it.
Yes. Wow.
Woo.
That's what I'm thinking. Wow.
It was really important to us to be able to, and you guys, to be able to really create your own superhero. So that you saw on that UI that there are a dozen different superhero classes you can choose from. You mix and match powers from those classes and really make a superhero all your own. But what else is new in the Fractured But Whole?
Well, I mean, that's obviously, I mean,
just like
I mean, it's definitely more of there's definitely more of defining your character and kind of, in superhero movies, there's always like the intense emotional center that like motivates why you have to go out and fight crime. So it's a much, as you can already tell, it's a much more spiritual.
It's a more spiritual.
It's more spiritual game. It's much more about.
It's like there's actually a part of it that I'm really proud of where there's a gay fish in South Park and he loves fish sticks and the gay fish actually wants you to help him get his mother into heaven. And so you get to journey up and try to help this little gay fish get his mom into heaven. And you're all acting like this shit's regular.
Shit is hard.
This shit is hard.
It was hard.
I hope you all saw the Kanye thing. It's not gonna make any sense.
If you didn't see the Kanye thing, that won't make any sense. Okay.
But you also, we you know, Cartman's the one who's kind of in charge of telling each superhero what their tragic backstory was that made them a superhero, and so this is what he comes up with for the player.
Right, let's see it.
Who let this guy join us anyway? Go easy on him, you guys. He's had a tough life, and it's time they learned your tragic backstory. You lay awake that night, like so many other nights. You couldn't sleep because you knew you weren't like the other kids. You walked to the mirror. You looked in the mirror and you felt alone. And that's when it happened. A loud noise. You swore you could hear your mother calling for help. You left your room. You left your room. Seriously, dude, just walk through the door already? But then you finally reached your parents' door. And what you saw when you opened that door changed your life forever and led you to fighting crime. You were too late, because when you opened that door, you saw your dad fuck your mom. What? Butthole doesn't trust anyone because his dad fucked his mom and he couldn't do anything to stop it.
That doesn't make any sense.
I know. How could the person you trust do that to the only other person you love?
Cartman, everyone's dad fucked everyone's mom.
Huh?
That's how it works, stupid. Our dads fucked our moms.
Oh, right. So does that mean your dad fucked your mom, Cal? Huh?
Yes, my dad fucked my mom. That's why I'm here.
Don't steal his backstory, dude. That's not cool.
I can see there's a lot of people that relate to that story.
Yeah, it's very personal for us, and apparently that does touch a lot of people.
There's very few people that can at least relate to it at some level, except for Jesus. So, we got that one out. So obviously that's pretty brutal. We've got another thing in South Park that's brutal, our combat, and we worked on that a lot together.
Yeah, the combat system is much improved from Stick of Truth, and it's a superhero game, so it has the combat is definitely the center.
Yeah,
centerpiece.
it was actually pretty cool because us and the guys from Ubisoft, we'd come down and talk about what this game would be, and we'd go back to my house afterwards and play board games, because I'm a big board gamer. So we'd play all like my favorite board games and tabletop miniature type of games and figure out how to, we still wanted to keep some of the turn-based stuff because it really makes it easier to do story. And so we just tried to do a big 4.0 version of Stick of Truth.
Right, I mean, all of those sessions, it's a lot of real clarity that comes from that. So what we ended up putting in is the combat space and time. So let's talk about it. First, let's talk about space. You're not restricted to a location anymore. Now you can move to get into tactical positions on your enemies. Ooh. You can also move to get behind cover. You can push and pull enemies, but they can also do it to you. You can knock them into props and get a little extra damage. You can knock them into other characters and get an extra attack. You can use some of your powers like Tweak here to get over obstacles. So obviously, using space makes a big difference. Totally realistic. Next up is time. In the first game, your farts were legendary. Now your farts are so powerful that you can use them to rip the fabric of time itself.
Like Ghost Recon.
Like Ghost Recon. So, you can use that to rearrange the turn order. Mastering space and time makes a huge difference. I can't wait for you guys to get your hands on it. Let's bring it out with big volume.
It gets loud, too. Yeah, it's a loud game.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty cool. Yeah. So then we did all that, and now we do the business part.
The business part? Oh, yeah. Awesome. What's that part?
It's obviously been an amazing game for us to work on, and I think both of our teams have been having a ton of fun. And we're almost done, and now we have some exciting news for our South Park fans before we go. Anyone who buys the Fractured But Whole will get the Stick of Truth for PS4, Xbox One, and Steam for free. If you pre-purchase the game today, Fractured But Whole that is, and you can start playing Stick of Truth right away. So check out our website and for information and about our participating retailers. Right?
Yep.
Cool. Sounds great.
You don't want to do
So we made a trailer if you want to see it. Sort of shows what the boys are fighting about that was the Civil War Fractured But Whole part of it.
People want to know the release date probably too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
What do you think it is? What do you think it is?
I'm putting my money on December 6th. The Fractured But Whole will be released on December 6th. That's it.
There it is. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.
Enjoy the trailer.
Bye.
That's funny, right, Joe?
Okay.
Why did we choose this life? Why did we become superheroes? We dedicate our lives to fighting crime for one reason: to make $1 billion on a superhero franchise. Now let's go through the plan one more time. First, we start with the Coon movie. Then we do the Super Craig movie. Then Super Craig and Coon will join forces in the Human Kite movie, just as we start ramping up Kenny's Netflix series.
How come I have to have the Netflix series? I want a movie too.
You have a movie, Mysterion. You're in the third Coon and Friends United movie, after your Netflix series.
Yeah, but he's saying he doesn't ever get his own movie.
Do I get my own movie? Not everyone gets their own movie.
The franchise plan sucks. If we want to make billions of dollars, then I think we should start with the Tupperware movie.
Right, start with a black superhero. Marvel is making a black superhero movie.
Yeah, now? They waited years to get to that. We follow their plan. We do all the real people first, and we sneak the black guy in phase 3.
How about we just do movies starring all of us, like all the time? But then we're just rehashing the same old material.
There's nothing wrong with doing the exact same movie to start a franchise.
Okay, J.J. Abrams.
Okay, okay, so you're on Cartman's side?
He just likes this plan because he gets 2 movies in phase 1.
God! We have to just go with this plan. We don't even have 1 movie yet.
How did it get to this? How did we grow so far apart?
You go with the plan. Maybe we'll just go and do our own franchise. Yeah.
Yeah!
Oh, you want Civil War? Is that what you want? Yeah, dude, Civil War. Fuck you. Oh, fuck you. Get out of my house.
We'll make way more money on our franchise.
Go ahead. I bet you don't even get halfway through phase 1 on your franchise, DC Comics.
I thought Civil War wasn't supposed to happen until phase 3.
Shut up, Super Craig. I didn't want to have to do this, but you leave me no choice.
Did I just hear someone use a microaggression?
All right, who's that guy?
I actually don't know.
If you have been playing that drinking game at home, you probably fell asleep on your computer. And now we move from the flatulent, prepubescent superheroes of South Park to the snowy, post-pandemic streets of New York in Tom Clancy's The Division. Thanks to all of you out there, The Division broke records when it launched earlier this year, and today more than 10 million of you have spent up to 3 hours a day hitting a steady supply of high-value targets and trying to get your hands on the best loot in the Dark Zone. Well, here to tell us more about what's new in The Division, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Julian Garrity, Creative Director from Massive Entertainment. Hey, how's it going, Julian? Welcome. All right.
Thank you. And thank you for wearing those shoes.
I like to make everybody
I'm not
feel...
actually that short.
No, you're actually taller than me without these shoes on. I'm sorry.
I'll go with it. And thanks to all the Division players out there who are so passionate about our game.
Yeah, it's a cool-ass game. And you guys have been adding all kinds of new stuff to the game since it debuted. We heard just a little while ago about the Underground, so do you want to tell us more about what's going on with that?
Absolutely. So, in Underground, you and your team will be fighting against a dangerous threat hidden beneath the streets of New York City. And every time you play, the challenge is unique. That means endless replayability and even better rewards the further you go.
Okay, so, I mean, one of the coolest things about this game is it is open world, it is so robust, and you're making it more robust all the time. So are you going to tell us when we're going to get this new content, or do I just have to start taking bets? I know, okay. I'm big and I'm also pushy.
Yes.
I agree.
Underground will be out June 28th on Xbox One and PC, and August 2nd on PS4. And this is just one of the updates we'll be releasing this year. Because for the Division team, this is a long-term commitment. We love this world, you love this world, and we're going to keep on making it better for you.
That's awesome. I mean, you know, I've been in love with this game since you guys first debuted it on one of the shows that I hosted, and I'm really, really excited about it.
Cool. And that's not the only thing we're going to tell you about today. We've got a little surprise for you. To celebrate Ubisoft's 30th birthday, we're giving our fans 3 exclusive outfits to use in-game. Ghost Recon, Rainbow Six, and Splinter Cell.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
You get an outfit. You get an outfit. Chad, you get the 3 outfits. Good for you, Chad. So, if you're a member of Ubisoft Club, all of these outfits will be free for you with the release of Underground.
It's like smushing 2 or 3 or 4 games together that you love.
Don't tell the other teams.
I don't know, I have a lot of feelings.
They let us do this, but they're not.
I love it. Well, I'm super stoked about running around Manhattan in trifocal goggles without getting arrested like I typically do. So we've got Underground, we've got dope new outfits. More?
We've got one more expansion to talk to you about today. In it, you'll struggle to find meager supplies in New York and fight to survive in some of the most brutal weather conditions imaginable. It's a completely new way of playing the game, and you'll be able to play it very soon. Even sooner if you're on Xbox One or PC. Ladies and gentlemen, this is survival.
Yeah.
if we said there wouldn't be Splinter Cell on stage, Kyle.
Oh no. That doesn't count. Count? No count?
Blizzard was getting worse. But we had to investigate the rumors of a cure. The storm took everything. No food, no water, temperature dropping.
Over here.
We are not alone out here.
Come on, man. Yeah.
In this world, it's hunter against prey.
Go, go, go! He's out!
The storm doesn't care if you live or die.
Evacuation area compromised.
But some of us will survive.
So much awesomeness. Now, for Ubisoft, VR is the perfect technology for making gaming more accessible. And Ubisoft Montreal's Funhouse team built a game that just about everyone is going to know how to play the minute they put on their headsets. So, here to take us into the world of Eagle Flight, please welcome creative director Charles Houteau, along with two huge fans of the game, Palmer Luckey, inventor and founder of Oculus, and Jason Holtman, head of publishing at Oculus VR.
So Eagle Flight was the VR game that I believe they revealed at PSX last year.
Okay, yeah, it's not an announcement.
Right. It's not new, but it's, I mean, I'm sure we'll see more of it.
Yeah, I'm excited to see more.
I am very excited to show you the game today, and even more excited to have you guys to play with us.
Thanks for having us. We're huge fans of Eagle Flight. It's a very, very intuitive game, and the flight mechanic is super innovative, and it gives you that real freedom of flying in VR. But most of all, it's just super fun, and by super fun, I mean I can beat Palmer almost every time I play.
That's not true. But I mean, we've been playing this game for months at Oculus, and we've been getting pretty good at it. And so this is a really good chance for us to come and show everybody that we can beat you guys at your own game.
Yeah. Let's see what you got, Palmer.
Let's go. Let's go.
Is there a rule against wearing sandals with black dress slacks?
I think there will be moving forward.
Hello, everyone.
at the press
My
conference.
name's Carsten Myhill, and I'm going to talk you through, for the first time ever at E3, a live PvP demo in VR. It's called Capture the Prey, and 2 teams of 3 will battle it out in the skies over Paris. Over here, we have the blue team, resplendent in their Hawaiian shirts, led by Palmer Luckey, Olivier, and Vicky, and the red team, led by Jason Holtman, with his 2 wingmen, Andre and Charlie. The rules are simple. It's a capture the flag game, and we will play best of 3. So if we're ready to go, let's fly. So we can see the first location of the prey, right there at the foot of the Eiffel Tower, and they have to take it to the nest to score a point. It's a bit like football. They have to work as a team, taking the object and bringing it to a goal. All right, maybe not the greatest analogy in the world, but you get the idea. Teamwork is key to succeeding in this game. Paris has been reclaimed by nature. We can see the Champ de Mars overrun now with beautiful trees and undergrowth and nature and the escaped animals from the zoo, like those giraffes over there. Olivier has the rabbit and is making his way over to the nest right now.
Even Eagle
He's trying to
games
stay
are
low,
post-apocalyptic.
using shortcuts, weaving in and out of the trees, taking little alleyways and tunnels wherever he can, trying to stay out of sight of his opponents who are trying to shoot him. Oh, and he's been hit by Andre. And the rabbit is down. Charlie's got it. So the red team in possession. Oh no, killed by Vicky. Who's going to pick it up? They're not far from the nest now. And it's Olivier for the blue team.
Yeah!
There's the nest. Are blue going to score first? Yes, they are. 1-0 to the blue team. Yeah, well done, guys. Okay, remember, it's best of 3, so the red team need to score to stay in the contest. Oh, Vicky with the amazing steal and then flew right into the line of sight of Andre, who took it from her. Into the tunnels, utilizing gusts of winds and thermals to get a speed boost. Andre looks like he's got a bit of a free run at the moment. Someone's shooting at him though. Andre staying low, Jason being wingman, backing him up. Over to the Pantheon there. Oh, great kill by Jason on Olivier. Oh no! But Andre has it for the red team, 1-1. Well done. Don't high-five each other, that's not going to work. Okay, the final location is right there at the top of the Eiffel Tower. Don't ask me how the rabbit got up there. It's an extremely exposed position. We'll see them shooting at each other as they head up to try and get that final rabbit to win the game.
Yeah!
Palmer with a kill, good work. And Andre's down, great shot of Vicky taking him out there. Vicky inside the Eiffel Tower, utilizing the thermals. But Jason, when the rabbit gets the final score, no! Vicky with the steal. Okay, we have to chase on to get to that final nest. Not far to go now. Andre with it for the red team. Taken out just at the final moment. And the blue team with the steal right at the end to win the game. Well done, blue team. And they keep on playing. Sorry guys, we're going to have to stop now. For those of you here, you can come to the Ubisoft booth and the Oculus booth to try it out yourselves. So we'd love to come and see you down there. Thanks very much. Have a great E3.
Man, it is hard to look cool playing VR.
All right.
Impossible.
Thanks to Palmer and Jason, Charlie, and of course the entire dev team. I actually got to play an early version of this game last year here at E3, and I'm not going to lie to you, it was like super alpha, and I peed a little. Like it wasn't even very good, and it was awesome. So this is going to be incredible. I really encourage you to check it out. Eagle Flight is going to be on Oculus Rift and all the other VR platforms this fall, and it is playable this week at the Ubisoft and Oculus booths. So get down there and do it. Now that we've seen some flying raptors soaring through abandoned city streets, it's time to ascend a bit higher in elevation. So please welcome Ubisoft Red Storm's David Votipka.
Is this that Star Trek VR game they were talking
At
about?
Ubisoft, VR is about more than just technology. It's about creating games that just weren't possible before, and exploring new worlds with friends without ever having to leave your living room. It's about fully immersing yourself in these worlds and going places and becoming people and doing things that you otherwise could not do. Today, VR is all about opening up the final frontier.
Captain's log. Stardate 2016.165. Starship USS Aegis is preparing for her maiden voyage. We've gathered some of the most decorated officers in the Federation to test her limits and to prove her place among Starfleet's finest ships. We're en route to a secret testing facility and are proceeding to our destination at maximum warp.
This is amazing!
Wow. Absolutely astonishing.
When I walked in, I really wasn't sure what I was actually walking into. This is very cool. If I could have imagined what I would have wanted the Star Trek VR game to be, this is it! This is what we've been waiting for.
Holy crap, this is amazing. I mean, it really is breathtaking. That was an extraordinary experience to be fully encompassed in a world.
Whoa, not into that. You're interacting with each other and you're talking to each other and you're taking orders from the captain and I mean, it's really cool.
So there's captain, helm, piloting the ship, tactical, and the engineer routing power and charging warp coils.
I'm feeling pressure already. I'm feeling nervous now.
All right, shields up.
Prepare warp. Take us out.
Yes, Captain.
Co-op gameplay is not new. I mean, you know, we can play games with our friends, but there's something different about being in a shared virtual environment.
Hearing who you're playing with, you can look over and see the person and see them doing their job and talk to them.
The team does not succeed unless everybody does their job well.
Ship decloaking, activating shields.
Okay, shields up.
Shields up.
I really did not want to lower the shields. While we were under attack, I was very impressed by LeVar playing that game today. He really had the language of Star Trek down.
And they are transporting, Captain.
It's like, yes, this makes you push the buttons.
I will say I nailed being the engineer.
That doesn't sound good.
It's a Klingon. Red alert. Preparing to warp. We're under attack. We have been waiting in anticipation for so long for the technology of virtual reality to catch up with where we imagine we should be and where we all want to go. Line us up for warp, please. We have full power. Ensign, as soon as you can get us the hell out of here, I'd be most grateful.
This was really incredible.
Hull is down to 20%. Come on, y'all. Punch it. As soon as you can. Here we go. Woohoo! It's your own Star Trek experience in a virtual world where you can hang out with whoever you want. And that's a pretty good deal.
Is it just me, or does that seem like Space Team, but in VR?
Yeah, I want people to
Guys,
remember that
Ubisoft
game.
is bringing you the first ever Star Trek VR game. As you can see, it's amazing, and you heard it here first, unless, of course, you heard it from the reporter who leaked it on Reddit. You know what you can suck a bag of. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the man who was rocking a VR headset way before VR even existed, Mr. LeVar Burton.
That was not a VR headset. That was an item that helped him see.
It was a hairband.
Yeah. Come on. Aisha Tyler, did you watch Next Generation?
Oh, this is so exciting. This is happening, this is happening. This is happening. Okay. Welcome to the sofa I had installed here for precisely this occasion.
Thank you so much.
So it looks like Ubisoft got some of the old Trek band back together. I mean, like all of the old Trek bands and the new ones back together. So I have two questions for you. First of all, I know you have my email, so why no invite? But we'll talk about that after. And how did the game compare to being on the actual Enterprise?
So here's the thing, right? We use our imaginations so much, right? When you're on the set. You guys know that. When you're operating the console, it's really not connected to anything. You knew that, right?
You're breaking all our hearts right now.
I know. But here's the thing.
you don't have to imagine in this game. You are existing in a completely rendered environment. You are on the bridge of a starship and you're with your friends.
Oh.
It's pretty cool.
It's so amazing. So what was it like working with that particular crew? All of you having had real enterprise experience. I know I can't let go of the fact that it's not real. Okay, yeah, I know.
But it feels real. I mean, it felt real to us when we were doing it. Look, playing with Carl and Jerry was amazing because, you know, we have this special bond, that, just like you will with your friends when you play. And here's the thing. We really had to work together to accomplish the mission. And what's more Star Trek than that? I mean, you can play as the engineer, or you can drive the ship, you can be tactical, or you can be the captain, but no one position is more important than any other. Everybody has to do their level best in order to get the job done, and that's at the core of what Star Trek has always been about for me.
Right, and what people love about cooperative gameplay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when you were Jordy before, you were the engineer.
Yes.
But in the game, you got to be the captain. So what did that feel like?
Well, I told the guys at Red Storm that I was not going to shave my head for the privilege, and so they said fine. For me, it took a minute for me to get acclimated because it was weird how I just sort of slipped into Jordy. It was like that skin, I just like put it right back on again. The lingo, the rhythm, the technobabble, it all, you know, started clicking in, coming back. But I'm used to like responding to an order and not initiating the orders. So I had to like, oh yeah, engage. That's how we start this thing. So it took a moment, but I got the hang of it, and it's such a blast. I think that they really nailed it. The graphics, everything, it's so beautiful, but you will forget all of that.
Right.
Because the gameplay is so engaging.
God, it's so cool.
It's
well,
awesome.
I can't wait to play this game, preferably at your house.
Yes. Well, you can come over and then we can play with like Brent and Jonathan Frakes and Michael Dorn.
What are you doing to my feelings right now?
No. Won't that be cool though?
Yes, it would be cool. Yeah. I don't want to burst into tears in the middle of this conference, so I'll just cry it out with you after. But thank you so much for talking about this with us today. And you are dismissed.
But you can't dismiss me unless you outrank me.
It's very clear that I don't outrank you by like many levels, so I will just say, make it so, number one.
I love you.
Oh, I love you too. Oh my God. Guys, LeVar Burton, everybody! LeVar Burton!
They kind of fell into like, I know Star Trek things.
I'm not even a Star Trek fan, but I love LeVar Burton.
Oh, yeah, you gotta love LeVar Burton.
We've all imagined ourselves on that bridge, and now you get to do it. We're going to have Star Trek Bridge Crew at the Ubisoft booth, and of course, when it comes out this fall on all major VR systems.
There were no signs. It came without warning. Doom came to us all. The desperate few struggled to survive. perhaps we had a chance for peace. But desperation and trust are seldom allies. So began a millennium of conflict. 1,000 years of war. The greatest warriors the world has ever known. The reason they fight, lost to the ages. And yet, here they still stand, searching for a sign of peace. I will show them. I am Apollyon. I bring war.
All right, that was a cool trailer.
Yeah, unexpected narrative for that game.
Oh, yes. Desperation drives us to war. It is trust that can end it. Apollyon and her Blackstone legions crave a world where trust is impossible and the wolves among us can roam free. I'm Jason Vandenberg. I'm the creative director on For Honor. Last year,
I like this
in our
guy's style.
multiplayer reveal, we gave you the chance to experience our new melee combat system, the art of battle. Now, we welcome you to the world of For Honor. In our campaign, be knighted. Join the Blackstone legions to drive your enemies from your lands. As a samurai, unite your people to prevent a civil war and restore the prestige of the empire. And as a Viking, well, I think it's better to just show you, huh? I'd like you to meet our game director on For Honor, Roman Campos Oriola. Come on out, Roland. Yes. My brother. Good luck. You are the raider. In the aftermath of war, your people were starving. You brought them back. Now, your fleet sails for the lands of the samurai in seeking plunder and glory.
This guy would be like the best DM ever.
Apollyon's war had taken us to the edge of extinction. But that raider reminded us of who we are. We would raid, but not Apollyon. Not yet. But they knew we were coming.
Rise!
The gates of that fortress hadn't worked for a century. All we had to do was get through them. That wall was the only way forward.
Get over here! Call the rope launchers!
Ropes! Grapples! Here!
Go! Lead the climb!
One warrior made it to the top. One would be enough. The raider got us inside that fort.
Now we have them!
Savage! My fortress is lost. My soldiers slaughtered. Soon, I will join them. You open the gate. Now, you will pay! raider showed us what Viking fury could do. The Great Raid, they would call it. And it had begun.
We didn't know that date before, right?
No, I don't think so.
Jason Vandenberg, if you are looking for something to give that very special someone in your life, For Honor will be available on Valentine's Day. Yeah, sweet, it's a nice gesture. What could be more romantic than dinner, drinks, and an all-night bender of epic warfare? Either you'll bond forever, or she'll move out in the morning. And if you're in LA, come by the Ubisoft booth to play For Honor. Now, for those of you watching at home, head to forhonorgame.com to register for the very next alpha that will come very soon, all right? Now, here to talk about catapulting of a completely different kind, please welcome producer at Ubisoft Reflections, Pete Young.
At Ubisoft, we get to tell all kinds of stories. Like how we can go from a massive AAA game like For Honor to, well, to a wobbly red robot in a small experimental game. Last year, we surprised you and ourselves with Grow Home, the story of our little robot bud learning how to experience the world around him. And today, I'm really excited to announce that Bud is back.
Grow up.
And this time, he's not just growing home, he's growing up. In Grow Up, Bud will take his first stumbling steps without the watchful eye of Mom, and you'll get to stretch your acrobatic skills across an entire planetary playground. Not only can you forget your words, not only can you ride the giant star plants, but you can throw down seeds and use plants to bounce, shoot, and catapult yourself to new heights, all the way to the moon. We want you to help Bud grow up this August on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. Thank you, and enjoy E3.
Pete, your accent is so adorable, you could forget to say anything at all and just turn those vowels into words way up. There were like 18 A's in that word. You're awesome. Now, at its core, Ubisoft is a creative company with an independent spirit, and support for innovative projects is a part of its DNA. But every once in a while, that DNA mutates slightly, and this happens.
Here are the Ubisoft Creative Director Tag Team Champions, Antti Ellisoa and Dean Evans.
So Dean Evans is the Far Cry Blood Dragon guy, right?
Yeah. I don't know what he's been working on since Blood Dragon, actually.
I'm sure it's something very serious.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Where's Chad? Not you. Out. So I'm sorry, I'm just kidding.
Hello, I'm Antti Ilvessuo, the creative director of Trials and also President of Finland.
It must be true. I mean, you said it, right?
Hello, I'm Dean Evans, creative director of the original Blood Dragon and advocate of world peace.
The original Blood Dragon. That means there's
Trials
another one?
and Blood Dragon made baby together.
That's right, Auntie. And this horrible problem child is being delivered right now. Now.
Okay.
This is. Oh, just watch.
Rex Power Cult and Dr. Darling are back, this time with their two Cyber Commando kids, Roxanne and Slater. Play as the ralliest mean teens this side of Mars and defy gravity on your ultimate Dragon Slayer cyber bikes. Protect America with freedom flips that ride on the ridiculous roller coaster of righteousness. Grapple and spin all over the planet. Use guns to shoot cyborgs, communist aliens, and giant ancient Dragon Balls! Space is the place, and the action is in your face! Ride through loops, hoops, and multiple dimensions into the future. Come fight Vietnam War 4! Together, forever, today! Trials of the Blood Dragon! Side effects may include euphoria and extreme patriotic views.
Nothing like an 8-bit title to get you excited. As you can tell, this game is a beast, and in case you didn't get the incredibly subtle messaging in that video, it is out now on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. Well, actually, it's almost out now. We didn't want anybody sprinting off to chase blood dragons while we were still here on stage, so the game will be released as soon as this conference ends, about 30 minutes from now. Calm yourselves and just take comfort in the fact that apparently LMFAO is back together, guys, so that was nice. All right. Guys, never knew they were white. Guys, this is Ubisoft. And there is, yes it is, my friends, and there is no UBE3 experience without a deep dive into Assassin's Creed. You know this, and I know this. And this year is special because Assassin's Creed is about to go super multi-platform. Here to talk about the upcoming Assassin's Creed movie, please join me in welcoming legendary movie producer Frank Marshall.
Not what I expected when they said Assassin's Creed.
No.
He'll explain it.
I mean, this might be interesting,
So,
but I want the
Frank,
game.
thank you so much for coming today. Now, in case, I'm excited to have you. In case people don't know, you have worked on some of the hugest films and film franchises that have ever existed in our history. Indiana Jones, Back to the Future, the Bourne films, Jurassic World. So what drew you specifically to this project?
Well, I mean, it's kind of simple. I'm always looking for a good story. And I thought that the Assassin's Creed universe really had all the elements that could make a great movie.
Yeah.
So it was kind of our goal as the filmmakers to take these elements and stay respectful to the franchise and the DNA of the brand and bring something new to the franchise that could be experienced in movie theaters. So we have a new story. We have a new hero, dynamic supporting players and characters. So we kind of mixed a little bit of the old up and the familiar with a new element.
And this is such a storied franchise. There is so much to draw from. I think everybody is super stoked to see that Michael Fassbender is playing in the lead role. Yes. It's an incredible cast all around. What can you tell us about what went into making this film?
Well, it's really kind of a massive production. We shot in 3-4 different countries. Obviously, there's an historical aspect to the story where we go back in time, just like in the game. But we really wanted to get the right team to put together the movie, and we started with our director, really esteemed, fantastic director named Justin Kurzel, who had just worked with Mr. Fassbender on Macbeth. And he's really a true visionary who understands the best elements of the game and how to translate them into the movie. Then we assembled a team of really incredibly talented people to surround him with and create the world, and using these real locations, and a team of stunt experts to take us into the parkour and the elements that you're going to see in the film.
Yeah, I mean, that's such an integral part of this world, is the physical aspect of this game, and
right.
trying
And
to replicate that in the real world had to be a challenge.
Exactly. We've got the best in the world at doing those different kinds of stunts and those different kinds of elements.
So, given all of that, what do you think people are going to be most excited about seeing when they see Assassin's Creed on the big screen?
Well, I think there's a lot to look forward to. But really, it's the multi-layered mythology that we have that comes from the game, and the kind of putting you into the story. We have a real story, and it has an arc that goes all the way to the end, and you're being able to have that same wish fulfillment that you have in the game, of being able to see the world through the lives and the ancestors, through the genetic memory that our character has.
That's incredible. I mean, I think people already imagine themselves in this role. So to kind of write it large and bring people in is an interesting challenge, but obviously a really great opportunity. Now, this is E3, so people are expecting huge reveals. We want secrets, we want dirt. What magical things can you reveal to us about them? Nothing. Come on, Frank.
No. Actually, I'm excited because I can show you a little bit more than anybody here has seen already. So we're going to have an exclusive video that gives you a sneak peek behind the curtain and shows you everything that went into making this film, as well as never seen before footage from the movie. So we're going to roll that video very soon, as soon as you give the word, right?
As soon as I throw to it. Well, thank you so much for being here today.
My pleasure.
Assassin's Creed is going to be in theaters December 21st. So play a lot of Assassin's Creed before then, so it's all inside of you when you go to see the movie. And now, for your viewing enjoyment, I present Mr. Michael Fassbender.
What? Mr. Who?
The Assassins are fighting for free will, and their main rivals are Templars. And Templars are trying to enhance humankind through science.
I think Assassin's Creed has a really deep concept and idea, which is going back into time and having some sort of relationship with the ancestor that's come before you. The overall journey of the film is through the eyes of our protagonist, that Michael Fassbender's playing.
What do you want from me?
Your past.
He starts to learn that he comes from a lineage of assassins.
He realizes the true history of himself, and he creates a kind of revolution.
We work in the dark to serve the light. We are assassins.
Michael is one of the greatest actors of his generation, and there's many other strong characters in the film.
The Assassin's Creed universe is a cinematic experience. The action sequences are massive.
I just want it to be an unbelievable ride.
You have to show him who he really is.
good trailer?
I don't even know if that has a trailer technically. It's all the behind the scenes stuff.
I feel exactly the same way. I think we've all imagined ourselves in that role over the years we've played the game, but I can't think of a better choice than Fassbender. He's super hot. Really looking forward to the assassin getting naked. All right. Just me? Okay. Now for our next game. Oh. All right. Okay.
Your freedoms can only be protected if democracy thrives. The corporate interests are rigging the elections. Your elections. Your favorite social media giant, Invite, knows everything about you. And they're manipulating your feed to tailor your opinion to their interests. They are fooling you into voting for their puppet, Congressman Mark Russ. Invite wields the single most powerful population control tool ever created. Defend democracy. Help us tear down Invite. Lend us your processing power by downloading our app, and together, we will expose Congressman Thruss. Join us. We are DedSec.
Hello everyone, and welcome into the San Francisco Bay Area, the birthplace of the tech revolution and Watch Dogs 2's new playground. This time, you will join DedSec, a hacker group rebelling against an establishment that uses technology to take away our freedom. You are Marcus Holloway, a brilliant young hacker on a mission to take back control from this establishment. Now, we all live in a hyper-connected world. Everything we use and every one of us is connected through technology. From the perspective of a hacker, this world is filled with opportunities. So in Watch Dogs 2, everything around you can be hacked in creative ways. You can also profile, manipulate, and hack everyone. And you're not alone. You can seamlessly encounter other DedSec hackers. And now, getting into co-op has never been simpler. But for now, let's deal with Invite, a social media giant that's just been exposed by DedSec.
Our numbers are going through the roof, but we just promised to move the lid open on Invite.
And we'll deliver. Have faith, sister.
Sure, if we can find evidence that Invite's manipulating social media.
Rance, where you at, man?
Scouting Congressman Dipshit's apartment from the roof next door. Oh, we fucked up this fundraiser. Almost everyone's gone. Come on, get over here.
Okay, people, this is strictly by the book. Don't paint outside the lines and stay frosty.
Fuck you. Just get in there and find some rusty nails to crucify Thrust to the social media cross.
On my way.
The Bay Area is filled with stories you can choose to explore. But for now, let's just check what happens when DedSec infiltrate the politician's penthouse to find evidence that Invite might have helped him rig the election.
Yo, Prince. Captain Dipshit lives over there.
Yo, check it out. You can see the whole city from here.
Whole lot of people out there, man. Whole lot of people.
Yeah, getting screwed.
You don't even feel it. Just numb.
It's fucked up. I know it's gonna be a hell of a fight turning them back into people.
Fucking A, man. Okay, dude. You find the evidence, and I'll mount our exit strategy.
Hey, is that the congressman?
No, I do believe that is a helicopter.
Fuck you.
Marcus, the building just went off the grid. We can't get in or see inside.
They're up to something. I'll see what.
More like droney soft.
Good one.
Sorry.
They got armed help in there. Something's definitely up. They're scrubbing the evidence.
Get us access, Marcus, before it all gets wiped.
I'll get you inside the system. Once I do, you use the botnet to brute force your way in and download everything you can.
But once you start downloading, they'll know you're inside.
It wouldn't be a party if they didn't. And I've got a surprise for them.
Where are we on wiping the Congressman's cloud?
That's done, but there's a team that invites scrubbing the backups, too.
They're good at this?
They're the best computer forensics team we have. You pay top dollar, you get top talent.
That's what I want to hear.
Wrench, you ready with my exit strategy?
Define. Ready.
Yo, Satara, I'm ready to go in. Play me something fresh.
Don't sweat the technique. Don't sweat the technique. Let's trace the hits, check the file. Let's see who bit the dissect the style. I flip the script so they can't get filed. At least not now.
There's something over there.
I change the pace to complete the beat. I drop the bass to a beat, give weight for every road they trace is a scar they keep. When I speak, they freak to sweat the technique. I made my debut in '86 with a melody and president's mix, and I would stay on song and refuse to miss. And I still make hits for beats, parties, clubs, and cars and jeeps. My underground sound vibrates the streets. MCs wanna beef, then I play for keys.
Tell your guys to make sure all their data roaming is turned off.
Already done. This isn't our first rodeo. Who's there? Hey, what's that?
Know how many times have I ripped and rap, but researchers never found all the peace check. Scientists try to solve the contact. Philosophers are wondering what's next. Since the took the last to observe them, they couldn't absorb them, they didn't deserve them. My ideas are only for the audience ears. My opponents, it might take years. Pencils, pens, and swords. Let us put together from a key to chords. So a sculpture, form of structure. Because of my culture, I'm a wicked instructor. Style that'll be full of technology, complete sights and new heights after I get deep. You don't have to speak, just see and peep the technique.
Who the hell?
You're in. Do your thing.
Hey, catch that?
Let's track this guy down.
What was that? Huh? Catch that?
Get back to cover.
You're only making things worse!
line of fire!
Take cover! You're in the side of Aegis already. Oh man, you're gonna love this.
Holy fuck, this is awesome.
You can prove your past later, man. Because we are just getting started.
Oh my God. So great. Watch Dogs 2 comes out on November 15th, 2016 on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. It's so cool to see my hometown in that game. And much like you, whenever I am infiltrating a corrupt politician's penthouse, I also listen to Eric B. and Rakim. And now, I'd like to welcome Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot to tell you a little bit more about Watch Dogs. Go ahead.
Hello everyone, thank you for being with us today. So as you may remember, when we launched the first time Watch Dogs with the PS4, it was a major success. And that was really thanks to Sony and the push they did have on this game. So today, I'm very happy to tell you that we are going to continue with Sony and we are going to do Watch Dogs 2 with them. So I would like to ask Jim from Sony to come with us and tell you more about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Hello, Jim. Welcome.
Thanks, Yves. That's right. We've been really impressed by Watch Dogs ever since Ubisoft first showed the game right here back in 2012. I think you were there that night. Sony and Ubisoft partnered on that game in the early days of the PlayStation 4. And then our partnership went even further. A while back, Sony Pictures Entertainment signed up with Ubisoft Motion Pictures to produce a Watch Dogs feature film with New Regency Productions. After what is shaping up to be an amazing Assassin's Creed film, we think Watch Dogs is set to be the next video game-based blockbuster movie.
Yeah, it's an incredibly filmic game. Yeah, it looks so cool. And, you know, as you know, Jim, it's never too early to think about who your lead actor is going to be. So I'm looking at the character and I'm thinking Michael B. Jordan or a Taye Diggs or an Aisha Tyler who is tall and black and slightly masculine. That's what I'm thinking, you know, yeah? We can talk about it backstage.
I'll be waiting.
No, I understand you also brought something very special to share with our PlayStation players out there, right?
That's right. PlayStation owners will have access to all Watch Dogs 2 DLCs 30 days before they're released on any other platform.
Wow, that's incredible. That's incredible. That's a killer deal for the PlayStation Nation. Thank you. Thank you so much, Jim. And now we're going to take one more look at the wild hacker playground that is Watch Dogs 2.
Ah, the San Francisco Bay.
Fuck the slow-mo. Hey. Fashion slave. In a fucking lookbook. Everything I scribble like the anarchist lookbook. Look good. Posing in the center for the lookbook. Black on black with a ski mask, that is my crook.
The residence is resident. Skin time. And my honey dick will backflip for you. Play a pocket outside, she gon' rip it too. The cliffs in the bottom, we dipping from Gotham. Pressing cliffs by the shadows of throat, dance in the coffin. I'm a fellow with felony, suspect of a felony. Look like rock in my law, feds checking my melody. Fast, running too fast. Running, fucking slow-mo.
Literally the most fit hacker in the world. And of course, what's a game about hackers without a few good robots? So if you pre-order the limited edition of Watch Dogs 2, you'll get your very own Wrench Jr., a hack security robot from the game. It's probably not going to help you oust a corrupt corporate overlord with a stranglehold on your city, but it is radio controlled and so quite useful for annoying your coworkers and ending unwanted relationships. All right, folks. We have one more game to show you today, and we all know that Yves likes to be the one to announce the next big thing, so I'll let him take it away. Ladies and gentlemen, Yves Guillemot.
Thank you. So I'm excited to tell you about our new IP from our studio in the French Alps. The studio has a lot of multiplayer expertise. You know, those guys have done Splinter Cell multiplayer. They have done also Assassin's Creed multiplayer, and they worked on The Division on some part of the game. So for the first time, we are combining the thrill of action sports with a fully explorable open world. So this game will give you a chance to challenge your friends and to share your adventures with the community. It's a completely new genre, and I am sure you will love it. Thank you.
It's that moment where I've committed to leaving, but I haven't left the Earth yet. Nothing you can do but charge forward.
What I love the most in the mountains is that I can do anything I want. It's pure freedom.
You know, there's always a bit of fear. If you don't have a little fear, you know, then you're a little crazy, I think.
Nothing else matters up here. All the chaos is just gone. No one else around.
The moment my feet leave the Earth, everything else disappears.
Got my own monster.
It's pure adrenaline.
Nobody but me.
It's what I live for.
I would never call him enemy. He's too bad girl.
The mountain is your canvas, you know, you can paint your own picture. That's what the beauty of it is.
The most important thing for me is to try something that never been done before.
Am I scared? Sure. But fear can be a tool. It can keep you performing beyond what you think your limits are.
Hello everyone, I'm Studio Manager Rebecca Coutaz.
And I'm Creative Director Igor Manceau.
We are from Ubisoft Annecy at the base of the Alps, just a few miles from the tallest peak in Europe, Le Mont Blanc. From our studio windows, we are surrounded by the mountains, and they have inspired us to develop the game that we are here to show you today.
Up in these mountains, sport isn't always about winning. Sometimes it's just about doing awesome things with your friends and living life to the fullest.
And sometimes it's just about capturing those memorable moments and sharing them with your friends. Let's show some gameplay. Take it away, Igor.
Thank you.
Was good?
Hot mic, hot mic.
Welcome to the world of Steep, a massive open world partially set in the Alps, at the intersection of Italy, Austria, Switzerland, and France. We're currently flying over Aiguille du Mont Blanc, and in case you're wondering, aiguille means needles. First thing we'll do is land on a small rock over there. And notice the man on the right, walking up to the... That's another player from the community. From here, we can now enjoy the view and observe the world around us. That big guy in front of you is the Mont Blanc, the biggest summit in the region. And in the distance, you can see the Matterhorn, one of the wildest spots in the game. And on the right, you've got the Aravis Range, the region we come from, where Ubisoft Annecy stands. In Steep, we developed a really cool observation tool. We call it Mountain View. Mountain View allows you to zoom out from your position, observe the world, and navigate into the environment. Our mountain range will be populated by drop zones. Drop zones are entry points for you to drop in the world when you're ready. Now, let's get back to our initial position. Besides drop zones, the game will offer a wide range of challenges for you to test your skills. The one in front of us is a wingsuit activity. And as the other player drops in, we'll follow him and triggers a challenge. This is a proximity flying race challenge.
Cruel, Joe. But funny.
We just secured the silver medal, and as we land, we could choose to move onto skiing in the Aiguille. But we'd like to introduce you to another region. So let's switch to Mountain View and head over to Aravis. The purpose of this next sequence is to show you what it's like to play online with your friends or with other players from the community. As you ride, you will keep meeting other players from the community, having fun in the mountain. Let's switch our point of view to follow those riders. As you noticed, the game will support GoPro views. Hold on, we really need to pause here. Too much at the same time. Now I'd like to show you something special. If we go back to Mountain View, take a look at that trail. Every line you do in the world creates a trail. And that trail is really cool. It not only allows you to check what you've done on your ride, so you can analyze your line, but it also allows you to launch a replay of what you've seen and what you've done. You can rewind, pause, control the camera, go slow-mo, and follow any players you've met. And the idea here is to allow you to push that replay of your performances or just crashes to all social networks so you can share it with the world. Even better, not only can you share videos, but say you liked that jump over the cliff. You know it's a tricky one. You can push it as a challenge to your friends, you define the rule, share it so it becomes part of the content your friends will see in their game. But let's catch up with our red paraglider. There is one last thing I'd love to show you. Steep is definitely about sharing intense, thrilling, crazy, or just pure fun moments. And it's also about enjoying the mountains. Thank you very much. Thank you. We're inviting you all onto the mountain as soon as tomorrow. Steep will be fully playable on the show floor. If you're watching from home, please visit steepgame.com to register for a chance to participate in Steep beta phases. This game ships this December. Thank you very much.
All right, guys. We got a lot done today, and we are barreling towards the finish line. But before we go, we want to bring Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot and all of the teams behind the games that we had on stage during our show back out here one more time. Come on out, everybody. This is going to be like the end of Saturday Night Live, only all the game devs have not been drinking for hours. Although I'm sure they'll start very soon. Welcome, Yves.
So as you could see, that was a fantastic game. And I think it's just the beginning, because as you know, this game will be live for a long time. So those guys are going to give you a lot more. So I would like to thank you, all Ubisoft teams, and Aisha, for their creativity and all the passion they have. I would like also to thank you, all the gamers. We are only here because of you. We really love you guys, because you always push us for excellence. As Aisha said, this year, Ubisoft celebrates our 30 years birthday. That means 30 years in the best industry in the world. I love video games because the real innovation and magic happens when our teams and players are free to create, free to innovate, free to express themselves, free to take risks and have fun. That's what got us here today, and that is what will drive us for another 30 years and beyond. Because when you are free, there is no failure. There is only forward.
Surely this isn't one more thing. No, okay, this is just a montage.
Yeah, okay.
Ah, shit, we got the wrong game.
Such a special conference. Stick around for our post show where we're going to answer your burning questions about Ubisoft and our conference today. Everybody, you've been so awesome. I'm Aisha Tyler. We are Ubisoft. Happy 30th birthday, Ubi. And you guys, you know what to do. Come on down, meet us on the floor, and do that shit!
What a violent exit. Oh, geez.
All right, well, it seems like that's a wrap.
Yeah, that's a wrap. I like the thing I like about that montage at the end that they showed. It's like, hey, we do a lot of the same things in a lot of our games. We do a lot of climbing, we do a lot of running, we do a lot of jumping.
A lot of dragging.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So,
wow.
Yeah.
All right, so
Let's
that's
talk about it.
Yeah, that's that out of the way. What do you think? I don't know, off the top of your head, just first impression. What's your grade? What's your grade on Ubisoft?
Yeah, it's not a bad grade. Maybe like a B, like a C plus, maybe B minus. That's pretty good. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
It was short on surprises. I got to kind of go through my notes here that I've been taking. We didn't really see any like brand new things, but we got to see a lot of gameplay.
Well, there was Steep.
Yeah, Steep was brand new. Yeah,
Steep was new. I mean, cool. I thought there was some new stuff. Trials of the Blood Dragon was new. Watch Dogs 2 we kind of knew about already.
Oh, we definitely knew about. I mean, they had a trailer and everything. So.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's not as new. But
should we start from the beginning? You think, or do you?
Yeah. Let's go ahead and do it. But just like in a general sense, I think that it was even if it wasn't the sort of surprises that I think make a show memorable, there was no, like if they had come out with like you'd mentioned you wanted before, like if there had been a Beyond Good and Evil 2 showing, if there had been like a new Assassin's Creed game showing, or like something along those lines, those sort of like beloved franchises coming back.
Yeah,
I think that would have elevated it a lot. But as it was, I mean, like I don't think you can argue that there's they have a pretty solid lineup, and they spent a fair bit of time actually like showing the games in action.
Yeah, I I've always liked Aisha Tyler. There are some years where, like, especially the first couple years she did it, where I don't know if it was a matter of she just didn't want to like censor herself, and she just kept talking, and like she kind of lost her punchlines and wasn't very funny. I feel like this year was one of her best, where she was more succinct and like actually had some good jokes, and then got out of the way to make sure the games could kind of speak for themselves. So.
There's that joke that I didn't get though about, I guess, French people are cheapskates or something.
That's what I was
don't
wondering.
know.
I don't know,
but I
guess I don't know. Way to just insult your employer on stage. That's cool.
So first thing that came out of the gate showing was.
It tickles me so much.
You know, actually, I was going to dive right into Wildlands.
We just want to skip right. Okay.
Well, no, I'm joking, just because I really was hoping that Just Dance would not get time.
That cracked me up so much, man. Just like just the fact that we just finished talking about it, it's like, they probably won't show it. Don't waste our time with dancing. Boom, dancing.
But what's weird about it is that they were barely even showing the game. Really, it was just kind of like a quick opening ceremony, like a little jubilant dance number to get things sort of like amped up, and then just like, this game's coming out. Okay, let's talk about Wildlands. Goodbye.
Yeah. So in that way, it was like they want to talk about Just Dance because, like we mentioned, it's important to their sort of business, but it's not a staple of So they jumped over to Ghost Recon Wildlands, Metal Gear Solid Wildlands, if you will.
Yeah. So you when you said that in the pre-show, I was like, I was skeptical. And then actually, like seeing what they showed in action. There are definitely some, again, I don't know if they're were designed in or if they were sort of adapted or whatever, but like definitely some Metal Gear elements sort of going on there.
Yeah, and distinct, certainly. I'm not looking at it being like, oh, that's just Metal Gear Solid.
Right,
right. But like you can't deny it. There was just out like even certain camera angles were like, oh, I remember kind of going through something similar to that in Metal Gear Solid 5.
If nothing else, maybe from sort of an enthusiastic standpoint of like, if you, like, it seems like there are things that if you liked these things in Metal Gear, you would probably like them in Wildlands.
Yeah, and like the co-op is a big thing.
Yeah.
I cannot stand that fake. And Ubisoft does it. Like they're the worst offender. I feel like of that fake conversation chatter, and it was bad for Ghost Recon.
Yeah,
but the game looked very cool. Like I liked the sort of structure of the mission that they all went on and being able to jump between vehicles and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know. That
cool.
banter actually gets distracting. Like it's hard for me. Like it really colors my perception of it. Like it's going to be hard for me to remember that demo as favorably as I could because of just cringing at the dialogue.
It's just a matter of the majority of players will not talk that way when they're playing the game. Some will. There will be a dedicated group of people who will very methodically approach every one of those missions, but even still, like those people will no one plays games like that, and it's frustrating. It's almost like they're like, this is how we want you to play the game.
Yeah,
it's like, no, I'm going to play the game how I want to.
Yeah, they sell a fiction about it. They did the same thing with that Dark Zone demo at E3 last year, where it was like they tried to talk about it as like it was all coordinated, when really it's just like, I mean, there's just going to be some jerk who's going to like betray you in the Dark Zone, and that's just how it's going to go. There's not going to be this like big lead up conversation to it, but whatever.
Yeah, but a lot of cool stuff. I wrote down Ghost Recon A-Team because like it just made me think of the A-Team. I think it was just because they were all very distinct looking, and they kind of look like they're like a small military group that's going to go in here and take care of business. And,
it's got that vibe for sure. I wrote down Mercenaries. Did you ever play that game?
No, I thought of that too, actually, because for me, the thing that made me think of it is looked like they were trying to take the bad guy alive.
Yeah. Well, and like for me, Mercenaries is what I think of when I think of one of the pioneering open world titles of the like that was really trying to push the like go anywhere, do anything, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like you have these terrorists you have to take out, just go do it.
Yeah.
You know? And that carries with it for me some excitement because you get, like that kind of freedom's always fun, but also a little bit of like apprehension because I feel like when you open the field that much, you're really just sort of, I think you're decreasing your own, as a developer, your own kind of like authorial control of making cool moments.
Sure.
And like, how many missions like that one are there going to be in the final game? You know, like this is, I don't want to make it sound like I'm down on it, but this is the like skeptical part of me that's like, how many times are there going to be like, okay, you just infiltrate, try and take this guy alive? You know, if that's like one of 3 mission types that you're doing, that's going to get old, even if that one mission, like it's novel now.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, who knows? I hope there are like a range of different things to do. One thing that they mentioned is that it is the largest open world Ubisoft has ever done, which is pretty bold, considering that Assassin's Creed and Far Cry both fall under Ubisoft. Like,
Yeah.
If that's true, that's a big ass world.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
So-
it really is. But again, if they want you to use those vehicles and stuff like that, like really have to traverse that land in ways that aren't just on foot. I mean, they have to give you land to go across, right?
that's true.
So yeah, I mean, I think that could be the sort of more vehicular kind of focus on it could be really cool.
Yeah, I wonder, like, to be very optimistic about it. Like, there's a lot of things we liked about Rainbow Six recently in terms of teamwork and online play. And I wonder if some of those things will translate. Like, they'll take some of those ideas into Ghost Recon's open world. You know, like, could it be that level of teamwork in an open world? That's potentially really cool.
Yeah. So here's the stuff that always scares me about games like that too, though, is that, you know, they go into a mission, it's like, oh, this one's going to be tough. We're going to need some backup. And like, I always hate it when it's like, I'm not saying you have to be able to do everything solo, but like, I'm not a big fan of just like, oh, well, we have to get a full group of 5 or else we just can't do this mission.
Yeah,
you know?
it hurts games in the long run. I feel like that's also another one of those things. It falls under that like fake radio chatter complaint.
Oh, yeah,
That it's
yeah.
like we need some backup, but it's like, oh, well, people just showed up. It's like, no, you're gonna have to go into the menus and be like, wait, are you in? I don't see you online. Here, let me send you a message. Did you get my message? No, you didn't get it. Here, let me send it again.
And then
They skip all that part.
someone drops in your room and then drops out immediately, and it's just like, yeah, I know. But no, I mean, in concept, I'm excited for it. They announced a March 7th release date for that, so it's not.
It was a good look at the game
far
too.
out. I
Like,
mean,
it was
less than a year away.
Yeah, it was a nice long demo too to kind of get a sense of a full mission, which was
Yeah,
cool. So.
yeah, a strong way to start. I feel.
Yeah, yeah.
With some gameplay.
So next up was South Park.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I don't know how useful I'm going to be here. I love RPGs and really don't care for South Park.
That's so funny. It's funny because you're a fan of comedy. I think you would like South Park.
I like funny stuff, and just like that humor doesn't resonate with me. Though this is what's weird is like when I watch the episodes, it doesn't really make me laugh. But there are definitely some funny parts in that demo too.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'm not sitting here crossing my arms and being
Yeah.
like South Park is never funny. Like I've laughed at it before, but just sort of like on the whole. It's just not really up my
It's
alley.
not your like sense of humor. The thing that I love about the last game and what they showed off in this game is like there's an understanding of like taking jokes in a like they're taking full advantage of like putting the player in an interactive experience and making it funny, which is hard to do.
Yeah.
Like just the idea of like trying to sit in the multiple chairs and Cartman telling you that you can't.
Yeah.
That stuff's great. Like
Yeah.
and you know, and then also I was so happy to see Trey Parker and Matt Stone come on stage. Like they're always just there. They're just always the funniest. Like they are the best part of like if they show up at a press conference, it's always like truly funny that
Yeah,
they're there.
yeah.
Not like, you know, like, oh, well, that's technically not a bad joke. I guess I can smile at that. Like I was laughing. Maybe you could hear it over here, but like
yeah.
I was laughing out loud at just like them talking about using fart abilities in the game and then being like, yeah, just like you do in Ghost Recon. And, it's so good. And the fractured butthole Civil War joke.
Yeah, you know, and one of the things that I really liked about that, from what we saw of the demo, is like, and something I like in games in general is just like, I love it when the creators clearly think hard about what the player is going to try to do.
Yeah.
And anticipate it, you know? So it's like, you know, if your narrator is saying, he left his room, and you just dink around and play the piano and stuff, like, it's always very rewarding when the, you know, developer sees that you might do that and puts in some sort of circumstance to acknowledge, like, yep, we thought you might do that. It's fine. You're playing the game right.
Yeah.
You know, like, have a good time.
Yeah,
I always like that.
I appreciate that the combat looks like it's going to be a lot different than the first one, but I immediately get turned off by grids. Me and Jeff Cork share this sort of this thing that once there's a grid that shows up on screen, I'm kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how you do it, because I think if it's a grid that's like a straight up tactics game, you know, like those get sort of, I see where you're coming from there. Like those can get a little overwhelming, but like, it seems like this isn't some big expansive tactical grid. I wrote down, it reminded me of an old DS game that I really liked called Radiant Historia.
Okay, yeah, I'm familiar.
That was, I mean, just like, it's basically like a modern but like old school styled RPG. Feels like it's sort of a contemporary of like Chrono Trigger or something like that. And that uses what seems to be a similar combat system in that, like, the way you sort of push and pull enemies and how you manipulate them on the battlefield is important. And,
Okay.
Oh, and also sort of manipulating your turn order is a big part of that game too, which it seems like it is in this also. So I guess what I'll say is you can do a game that has a very traditional RPG feel with this grid without feeling like you're delving into some sort of like rock, paper, scissors tactical.
I'm not going to play Disgaea or Final Fantasy Tactics.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
I wonder if another game. I haven't played I haven't played none of the new South Park, obviously, and played very little of the other game I'm going to reference. But I wonder if it's similar to the Mega Man Battle Network series, because that looks like kind of like they both have small grids, like in rows of 3. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just kind of thought of it when I saw the way the grid was set up, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, and that one they announced what, December 6th?
December 6th. I wonder if I feel like that's not going to make December 6th just because of the reputation of Trey Parker and Matt Stone, and they even laughed at that release date.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that part.
So I don't know, but at the same time, they've already made one game, so surely they have a better handle on the process at this point. So maybe it'll make December 6th. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that could be nice. And then after South Park, they dove into The Division Underground, the first of a couple planned
expansions.
like full expansions, because they've done some like DLC and other sorts of like support for the game up until now.
Yeah, that was mostly a small update because we saw a bunch of the Underground already, and the outfits, the Splinter Cell Rainbow Six and Ghost Recon outfits was very just like cool bonus.
Yeah,
not really a lot to talk about there, but. It looked like one thing that kind of stuck out to me was it Survival, the second expansion. They showed a character at the end who had like a handful of those orange like circles that all the different, like your character in the Division has this like orange circle that like marks you as being part of the Division, and it looked like there was just some like dude who's like collecting them.
Right.
I'm like, oh my, that's kind of like almost like a horror kind of thing. That's interesting.
But I mean, it's also, it seems like they're trying to introduce basically like a new sort of villain character. For that,
maybe.
right?
Yeah.
Which I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah, it seems like an interesting concept. Did they announce a release date for that? I didn't.
No, I think it's got to be soon. I did not write down a release, so I don't think that one has a date.
Because Underground is coming out, really soon.
That's pretty soon.
June 28th. So, so that's more Division. They were saying 10 million players on that. So
yeah, I believe it.
Obviously doing well for them.
Yeah, there were some stats the other day about there being a drop off on the Division in terms of players. Which that's going to happen with any game, but I think that game has found its audience. Like there's a group who, much like Destiny has this group of people who are obsessed with it. I think Division has found that group of people. So
then we got up to they had a little brief VR. Well, not that brief, not brief enough section on VR. Now, I mean, and I don't want to come out like I don't like to sound like I'm just some like old jaded cynic.
Well, you hate everything, Joe. What's
but
wrong
like,
with you?
well,
laughing,
no, but I mean,
laughing
like,
at snowboarders crashing on the mountain.
Okay, that was hilarious. But but sometimes a press conference or parts of press conferences just don't do it for you.
Sure,
and
absolutely.
Like, to me, that Eagle Flight demo did not do it for me.
It's that problem, man. It's so hard to show VR.
It's not even about showing VR. Like, I don't think it's a VR problem.
Yeah,
because like something about okay, you're flying around. You're I think the problem is everyone understands what that game is instantly without a demo, without like some 5-minute demo.
Yeah.
If you say, oh, you fly around, you capture this thing, you show a little bit of it.
In a post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, for some reason, a post-apocalyptic world. But then also it's just like your weapon is some like screech blast. So there's just eagles screeching everywhere. And like it was hard to even sit through for a press conference. I can't imagine playing a game where it's just constantly, "Arr, arr, arr." So,
Joe, you want me to show you some gameplay from that game?
No, I'll pass. Thanks.
So it looked like.
Well,
it's hard to look cool in VR.
Yeah, and their next thing was Star Trek Bridge Crew, which is another VR game, but like sort of brings me to the whole idea. Like, it was surprising to me that they spent as much time as they did on VR at this E3, considering the sort of like I would say like relatively small penetration that like technology even has right now. Like people are, I think that there are a lot more people sort of talking about VR and wondering about VR than there are people like actually playing it.
Sure.
So like I get kind of wanting to prime the pump a little bit for you know, when like PlayStation VR comes and when like the Vive and the Rift and stuff like get in more people's hands. But
yeah, I wonder if it just should have been 2 short trailers.
Yeah.
Hey, here's the Eagle Flight. This looks cool, and we have a Star Trek project in the works. It looks cool as well. I think that the best selling point of that Star Trek game was having it was like one of the few occasions where like having a celebrity come on like actually made sense because those people were all in some version of Star Trek or another, and it was cool to see them kind of react to it. And I feel like they could have stopped there. I love LeVar Burton. He's so charismatic. Always love hearing him talk, and he's really funny. But they didn't. I don't know if they really needed to bring him out on stage to talk about how much he loved this Star Trek simulator.
No,
you know?
like for me, the takeaway of that is like, man, like you want like LeVar Burton just exudes like likability, and and he's just so like he's so enthusiastic about whatever he's talking about. That like I just came away from that being like, man, I like LeVar Burton, and I can sort of like take or leave that Star Trek game.
Yeah,
but I mean that's coming from me, who's like I'm sure that there are lots of people out there who are huge Star Trek fanatics that can't wait to sort of like sit there and fiddle with those instruments. But that was just never a big sort of particular fantasy of mine.
I am one of those people. Like I'm a huge Star Trek fan.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, like me and my brother just inhaled Star Trek growing up, and like that game like visually does not look good. Like it doesn't look good. That's, I mean, I'm sorry to say it, Joe, over and over. It doesn't look good.
No. I believe
visually.
You. I believe you.
But I want to play that. That seems fun. The idea of sitting in a ship and everyone having control over something and communicating that way. I think that's cool. Like that's and just kind of describing it actually like works well. You know, that's a game that you can describe as sounding cool.
Yep. But then you also have to think about the practical reality of that though too, in addition to the virtual reality,
the financial reality of it.
Yeah. Which is like me and several of my friends who all have VR equipment, like we're just not there yet. That's why I think that's why I think those demos, like a multiplayer VR game, like both Eagle Flight and that, it just seems like it seems like that should happen maybe at next year or the year after Z3, and maybe not this year.
I mean, we are a magazine dedicated to covering video games. We've done a lot of coverage of VR. We do not have enough VR headsets in this office to play one of those multiplayer games. You know?
Oh yeah,
like because it's up to 4 people, right? And like, so those games look interesting, but you're right. I think they should have focused. If they're gonna do VR, maybe focus on single player stuff. Right now.
Yeah, and I think I like your idea of just like those should have just been trailers.
Also, they didn't mention the holodeck at all. Seems like that should have been brought up at least.
I was thinking about that though, because people talk about VR as the holodeck, so like you wouldn't want to play a holodeck game in VR because the VR in and of itself is supposed to be your own holodeck.
Yeah,
it's like going into VR to read a book or something. Like you just should just kind of
or
be doing
play an
that.
Xbox One game.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so there's that. Then we got to For Honor, which was our first sort of. I felt like this was our first real look at the setting and the story and the sort of like the mythology around that game.
Yeah, I did not expect it to have so much fiction. You know, like it has a story. There's a god like pushing these different warriors to fight together. It seems like another a historical post-apocalypse.
Yeah,
where different in reality, like these countries that were hundreds of miles apart, like maybe this earthquake seemed to bring them together, and now they're warring. Hey, that's kind of cool. Like I think that's an interesting sort of conceit for the story. We'll see.
Yeah,
maybe.
I mean, I wonder how much. Just like what's weird is that what we saw last year was just seemed to be so divorced from story and so focused entirely on combat.
Yeah.
And this year seemed to be so much more about the story that I kind of wonder where does it fall on that spectrum? You know, like is it this just sort of like is it like a 2D fighting game where the story is there but you're just kind of like let me get to the fighting, or is it a little more like Assassin's Creed? It's kind of like a mix of all of it. So yeah,
I guess my big thing was just surprised that it even existed. Like I was like, I just did not think that game was going to have that. I've already seen more story from that game than I expected I would. So.
Yeah,
which is cool.
One of the things I will say I appreciated about what we saw in that is because you'd mentioned in the pre-show segment it reminding you a little bit of Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah, a little
that
bit.
Series. And one of the things that I liked about what we saw is even though it still has that sense of one warrior against a larger group, you're not getting the sense that your weapon just has no weight and is just sort of like floating through
Yeah.
phantoms and not connecting. Like pretty much every blow that Viking dude was landing with his axe, there was weight behind it.
Yeah,
There was
there's
like
certainly
a satisfying like chunk when he put it in and pulled it out, and like
visceral is one of those like buzzwords you try to avoid, but it's a good example of when
Yeah.
to use it. I mean,
Yeah. I
everything
mean-
felt visceral.
yeah,
you
at
know?
least at least it feels like your weapon is connecting with something, and your characters don't have a bunch of like the bad guys don't have a bunch of health bars that sort of gradually go down artificially like that. I mean, even that boss character at the end, it was a lot more of like reminded me of the old Bushido Blade games, you know, where it's
I thought
just
of that
like
too. That's
you
funny.
fight and you
Yeah.
look for an opening and then you just like strike the killing blow.
A little bit slower pace, but
Yeah.
doing a lot more damage. Yeah. For
So
sure.
I'm excited to see how that turns out.
Grow Up looked a lot like Grow Home with a couple new mechanics. You can fly now.
Yeah, I wasn't. From that, it was hard to even tell what exactly. I mean, like,
What was new?
yeah, I mean, they talked about what was new, but it really seems like functionally a very similar game.
A sequel in the
Like,
truest sense.
Yeah, I mean, like you're even doing the same thing where it's like you still need to like steer those weird plants around as you're trying to get places, but it just seems like you have more tools. And they said something about like planting seeds to like basically get the environment to work.
Yeah, they showed him dropping like seeds to grow mushrooms
Yeah,
and stuff.
it seems like you can kind of configure the environment to help you like platform where you need to go.
Yeah.
and stuff. So yeah, I mean, we'll see.
So when we were putting our list together of like games we want to talk about in our pre-show,
Mhm.
I noticed like that they announced a new Trials like expansion
Mhm.
last year, and I was like, well, surely they won't do Trials again. So like I didn't even bring it up, but
Yeah.
Trials of the Blood Dragon, not quite where I expected to see Blood Dragon again, but it kind
Yeah.
of fits. It's Trials with you're shooting guns and you have like grappling hooks and stuff like that. That's cool, I guess. I mean, Trials is not a series that I'm not going to run home and download that tonight or anything, but
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because so much of what's cool about Blood Dragon is the vibe of it, right? Like just the way it harnesses that kind of like, 80s nostalgia
Yeah.
sort of thing. So it's like, or 80s and 90s.
yeah, late 80s, I guess
yeah.
you could say.
So, but it's like, I guess that element of it could work in just about any genre. It's not like you need to be a first-person shooter.
Yeah.
So I'm
that's a good
definitely
point.
willing to give that the benefit of the doubt. The problem is for me, the Trials games I've never been particularly excited about them. So
Mhm.
it's kind of like, well,
Good for you.
neat. Maybe I'll give that a shot.
Yeah. Frank Marshall talking about the Assassin's Creed movie.
Boy, I don't even know what to say about that.
I wrote down, so he goes, it's like, we want to respect the franchise, blah, blah, blah. Like, we really want to make sure that we're paying respect to the stuff, blah, blah. And then he's like, so we have a new story for the movie. And it's like, well, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah. Well, man, you just really hit on what's tough about any sort of game to movie adaptation, right? Is that like movies and games do different things well. And you're not going to get a movie that just like replicates everything that's great about the game.
yeah, that's not a great movie.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like honestly, like a long time ago for me, I just stopped hoping that a game. I've given up hope. Well, no, I mean like it just comes along with an acknowledgement that like they're just going to be different things.
That's fine. Like, I don't even, it's not like I don't love the Assassin's Creed story. I don't need like a movie like
Yeah.
adaptation to make sure it's canon and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But it was just the fact that Frank Marshall was like, look, we are paying attention to the game. The game
Yeah.
is important to us, but we're doing something new with it.
And the animus is this weird thing that holds you up in the air
Yeah.
instead of I mean there are definitely differences.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean like I hope the movie's good. Hope it's better than that Prince of Persia
It'll
movie.
be pretty. I know that much.
Yeah.
Watch Dogs 2.
Yeah.
The thing that I'm taking away from what they're showing of Watch Dogs 2 is that I don't know if they're successful, but they're really trying to inject much more of a sense of humor into that game. I'm seeing because like the original Watch Dogs, I did not finish, but it's very dour.
Yeah.
game,
Well,
you know?
and that main character was real sort of
It's a
like
gloomy dude,
gruff and
yeah. And I even though it still is a little cheesy, I'm much more on board for this sort of young crew of hackers. But it still is like I appreciate the new tone, but it is still pretty cheesy,
Mhm.
So we'll see. But I liked what I saw. Like you're doing different interesting things. I like that you had that like little robot that you could jump around and like you see. I felt like sometimes in Watch Dogs 1 you were just hacking stuff and it was just like turning lights on and off.
Mhm.
Where here it seems like you're kind of doing more interesting things with your hacks and the parkour stuff is really cool. So I'm optimistic. After the first one didn't really do much for me, I'm definitely willing to give Watch Dogs 2 a shot. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think part of the question is just like giving you. And one thing I don't know that we saw a whole lot of what they showed there, but like part of any open world game is actually just like making the world interesting to interact with and like giving you fun things to do. So it's like, I think that's something the Assassin's Creed games do well. I think that's something Far Cry does well, is just giving you a lot of objectives in the world to sort of like tackle and to give you good rewards for it.
Yeah, and like it looks like movement around just in general, which is important in open world. Any game really is more fun, like with parkour and stuff.
Yeah,
like bounding over things and climbing walls much faster. Like Aiden was just kind of this trudging dude who couldn't do a lot of climbing. He could do a little climbing, but was something that made me laugh is there was like it looked like they were erasing hard drives. And someone was like, "You pay top dollar, you get top talent." And then it's like you look at them, and it's just them like hitting hard drives with hammers
and microwaving them. Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's the best way to get rid of hard drives. I don't know, but it was just like, "Are you sure this is like the top dollar crew that you need?" That made me laugh. November 15th on that one, that's pretty close.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this year. That's what I wrote down. Do I trust myself?
Huh, I don't remember.
The DLC is coming to PS4 first, which okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I like when they said like, "Oh, well, we're working with Sony again on this." It's like, "Oh wow, are they doing like some sort of timed exclusive?"
I thought it was a timed exclusive. Yeah,
Rise of the Tomb Raider was or something, and like, nope, it's just some DLC.
Just locking away the DLC for half the audience. That's
really
all.
I wonder how valuable that is for platform holders. Really,
I mean, they've been doing it for years, so it's got to have some value. They would have stopped doing it if it didn't matter.
And I guess they don't do it on games that people don't care about. You know, I mean, like I guess they assume Watch Dogs is this sort of like, you know, big up and coming IP or something. But
yeah, they have a lot of faith in that IP. I mean, they sold the movie rights already. Like they're already talking about the Watch Dogs film on stage. You know, where you wonder, it's like, has that thing even have a script? You know, and you're already talking about it, but. Ubisoft is very optimistic about.
Oh, weird! I went to a press conference once about the Lost Planet movie that was going to happen, and everyone was very excited to be working with each other. And that was about all there was to it.
All shaking hands and patting each other on the shoulder.
Yeah, that's basically what it was. Man, that was a long time ago. And then the last thing we saw was their sort of big surprise reveal.
Yeah,
but not really a surprise because they had mentioned before that they have a new sort of multiplayer-focused IP to announce.
That's pretty broad, though, so I had no idea what to expect.
But yeah, so they announced Steep.
Yeah.
A extreme sports mountain. Are you sold on this game, Kyle? You're giving me a look.
Well, I there are things that seem cool about it. I like SSX games. Snowboarding games are fun. But the thing that like instantly kind of bugged me was like, obviously I don't know anything about this game yet, but like I wonder what the objectives are. Like, are you unlocking stuff to like with races? And then he said like you can set your own challenges to challenge your friends. Like I'd rather have professional game designers set challenges for me.
Yeah.
But this is like that's the first look. Like I like snowboarding games. I like the idea of being able to attack a mountain with different things, snowboarding, skiing, and like wingsuits and stuff like that. But I just right now. I don't know why I want to get to the bottom of that mountain.
Yeah.
Is there my girlfriend down there waiting for me or something? Like, is there a story? I don't know.
I wonder about that too, because like what it seems like is that it might have been. It seems like these are mechanics that would be in a larger game or like a more campaign-oriented game.
Yeah.
And like modes of getting around, but instead of having the rest of the game, they just sort of took these different like transportation or like locomotion methods and just sort of like put them in one place and it's like, hey, make challenges about it.
Yeah.
You know?
And like I said, I enjoy SSX. I'm not even like a big racing guy, but I've always enjoyed the SSX games. Like SSX 3 had like a big open mountain that you could explore and that was cool. And like, but it was a racing game. Like it didn't pretend it was anything but a racing game.
Or if you look at something similar, like another extreme sports like Tony Hawk, like those are like, hey, let's do like crazy tricks. But there wasn't really an emphasis on like crazy tricks and like score attack or anything. It really just seemed like the point of the game is to do something cool
with friends.
Do something cool and then sort of like look at it again and share it with people.
I think.
And see if your friends can do the same cool thing.
Is it PlayStation Home on a mountain? Like, is that? It could be. I don't know. It's early. Maybe there's more. Like, maybe it is just a racing game. Like that's what the finish line, if you will, is that it's a racing game.
It seemed almost. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'd have to see. It seemed almost a little open worldy in the way that people were. I mean, like. It's not like the paragliding guy and the wingsuit guy were necessarily like, I didn't see any finish lines. It's not like they were going for the same place. It was just like they're kind of in the same space doing weird stuff.
But like after kind of the last SSX was sort of disappointing ultimately, I'm on board for like a new gen like snow sports game. That seems cool. But I just don't quite know what Steep is yet.
Yeah.
But I do think I have a sneaking suspicion that GoPro helped fund that game.
That's possible.
With the GoPro parachutes and the GoPro view.
If nothing else, I'd say Steep probably was not the like jaw-dropping show closer that they maybe hoped it would be.
Yeah.
It didn't have the same impact as Watch Dogs.
But I always like new stuff. Like I'm a sucker for brand new things.
Yep, that's always a plus. Surprises are always good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's going to wrap it up for us and wrap it up for Ubisoft. I think it was a pretty good show. Like you said, kind of light. So far, every show has been light on surprises, but they're still showing a lot of good games that are coming soon, and sometimes sooner than we are expecting. So, well, everyone, thanks for watching. Joe, thanks for sitting next to me and telling me about Ubisoft. I wish they'd shown Prince of Persia. That should have been the big surprise. Or a Prince of Persia.
You tell them.
Hey, next time.
Hashtag Ubi E3.
Hashtag, hey, Kyle would like you guys to show Prince of Persia, please. And make sure you have the in there. That's important to get it trending.
Okay, goodbye.
But make sure to come back in 2 hours and 15 minutes for our Sony coverage.
Thank you, Wade. We will be covering the Sony press conference just like we covered Ubisoft.
Oh, and I'll be there on that. So
yeah,
if
stick
you
around for that.
particularly don't like me, don't watch.